Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator here on Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea. So today, I believe, we have to start off by liming that field. But I do want to take a look and see if there's any contracts. Harvesting field 5 with corn. We might do that later. As of right now, we're okay. I know in the last episode I said we need to get money and all that jazz, but for right now, let's just stick with what we're doing, which is liming. So what we need to do is drop that and grab our lime spreader. But one thing I was thinking about would be nice is if we put the extensions on so it can hold more. And I also wanted to get rid of the narrow tires, mainly because we don't use it for fertilizing, so we're not driving it when there's any crops planted, so they just look awkward more than anything. So we'll start off by repairing it. We'll add the big extension. We will put standard tires on it, and we already have the biggest spreading unit. So this is going to cost us $750, just mainly for the extension, which, let's see, it gives us an extra 5,000 liters, so it's well worth it. It's a lot bigger. See, look at it. The comparison is way bigger, and you actually have to open the cover. But it should do nicely. And I figured we'll use our Valtra since we have it. So we have $48,000 and we have to lime the field, but we should be able to do it since we have this extension. We should be able to get the whole field limed with this one tank. So whatever this one tank's going to cost us is all the money we should have to spend today, because we do have our fertilizer spreader is I believe it's practically full. I mean, there's plenty of fertilizer in it to do what we're going to need to do, so we don't need to worry about that. And that looks much better with the bigger wheels on there. The narrows look really wobbly and insecure. But like I said, if we were using this as a fertilizer to fertilize our fields, it would make much more sense to use those wheels. But we're not. So we're just going to switch back to what we have now. I still like this map, it looks good. Haven't come across any other map that I'd like to switch to yet. Plus there's still so much I want to get done on this farm. The opportunities seem rather endless. One thing I was thinking about though is, I've talked about getting rid of the pig enclosure, but if we got rid of that, we're going to lose this building, which the fence connects snugly to. Look, it even looks like it looks like it's connected to the building. But yeah, we would lose that, and so I don't know. I mean, I guess if we were gonna put greenhouses in, we could put the greenhouses as close to here as we could get them, but we couldn't get it that close and that good looking. So I think we might just keep it, and eventually, I've said this before too, probably multiple times, but eventually maybe we'll just look into getting some pigs. Seeing as how I've never dealt with them before, it would be a learning experience for me. So it was $2,000 to fill up our lime spreader. That's not too bad. And there's our wheat growing in over there. And then we have a field of oat right there, our little field, and our medium field has the wheat. Now here's our big field with nothing in it yet. But that's what we are here to fix. We are here right now to put probably soybean in it. Go figure. Oh no. Oh no. Pulled a typical Freki. Okay, this should be good. Hopefully. There we go. As always, I'm overlapping onto the grass. Probably way more than I need to. But if I didn't, then I'd be leaving spots that aren't getting limed, and that's more of a headache than anything. Plus, we got this extra big tank. We should theoretically be able to get this whole field, even if I do overlap a little extra. Let's hope so. Although it didn't cost us an arm and a leg. It only cost us $750. Which is very nice. That's one of the cheaper upgrades. Well worth it too, I would say. 5,000 extra liters. That's more than our fertilizer spreader can't even hold 5,000 liters, so the fact that we just upgraded to something that big is pretty awesome. If you had one of these for fertilizer, which I did in my Michigan Farms playthrough, then I had huge fields on there, and even then, with my huge fields, I didn't need to refill it very often. So if you're ever having big fields that you need to, or you're just getting tired of refilling your fertilizer spreader all the time, then this is a very good option. The only downside is the price. The price to purchase it, just straight up, like, you know, instead of like, here, let me look so we can understand what I'm saying. So the fertilizer technology, this is the one I usually use, this little Krone, or yeah, Krone, and it holds 3,200 than this one, but then the price difference is an extra 19 grand, which in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. It holds more than double the Krone. What? 750 bucks? We didn't buy anything. Oh, that's probably from our upgrade. I don't know. I've noticed my shop does that sometimes. I'll just go and look in the shop at some vehicles or look at stuff. It does on multiple playthroughs. It happens, and then I come out of the menu, and it says. One time I did it. I was just looking, and it said $10,000 gone. New vehicles. I didn't purchase anything. I didn't get anything. I was just looking at stuff. And it took 10 grand away from me, which sucked because at the time I believe I only had like 20 grand. So it took like half the money I had for nothing. But anyway, what I was saying is, if you could buy this for a fertilizer spreader for $39, that's the base cost, then you're going to have to pay for the upgrades for the spreading discs, which you don't need the upgraded spreading discs. It's really handy though. I mean, the spread, the width, the working width, if you do have them for fertilizer, it's way bigger than this spreading of the lime. So it's a good overall fertilizer spreader. I have yet to, in any of my playthroughs, use the actual sprayer, the liquid sprayer, as a fertilizer unit. I've always just used solid fertilizer. And then I use the sprayer as the herbicide spreader. But preferably, I like it when I can use the weeder. Just drag the weeder through the crops and rip out the weeds. I like that. I like that feature. But in this map, it just seems difficult. I don't know how else to describe it. In all my other maps, I was able to get by with just using the weeder, and I never had any problems. I could always get the weeds before they were too mature, or before my crops were too mature. But in this playthrough, I've had difficulties with it, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm just getting worse in that sense at the game. But having the sprayer to spray the herbicide is nice, because then you can just, as long as you spray them before they're fully matured and ready to harvest, then you're good to go. Yeah, so we're going to be able to get this whole field done with just this one tank. And I think what we'll do is when we're done, we'll go refill it just so it's ready for the next time we need it. And that way we don't have to go refill it again. Yeah, we should be able to get... We might have to take one... When we get down to the other end of the field, we might have to take one more pass. Coming back up a little bit. Just to cover everything. But other than that, we should be good to go. And then, as usual, we'll come out with the fertilizer and spread the fertilizer. Then we'll be ready to start planting. And I'm gonna, before we plant, I'm gonna check the market and see if soybean is still top dog, if it's still, you know, getting the most money, or if maybe it would be a better idea to look into doing something else. But we shall see here shortly. So yeah, we're just gonna have to do one little pass, which we barely have enough lime to do, I believe. We have 914 liters, and we just have to come up here a little bit. Oh, hopefully we can get it all. See, there's that little bit just in front of the tractor I'd like to take care of. Oh yeah, we got it. Bam. Sweet. So yeah, this is like the perfect size tank of lime for our field. Very nice. So yeah, we'll just head back over to the shop again and fill this thing up. We'll do the in-cab driving. I like the mirrors. How you can see everything. Go figure. It's a mirror, Freki. They kind of reflect things. It's kind of what they're for. But I like how good they look in the game. And there's one right there. For when you're driving it the other way. Yeah, so I guess we could have done Field 5, the contract in Field 5, but it was only paying $9,000, and then you get a little extra. I mean, sounds like I'm super greedy, only $9,000. In real life, I would jump on it in a heartbeat. But for right now, we have enough stuff around our farm, at least at the moment. Our horses still need a little bit more hay and a little bit more straw. And a little bit more oats, but we can't give them, we don't have any oats to give them. This horse's name is Wings. And that's a funny name for a horse if you ask me. Maybe he drank a ton of Red Bull. Brettle. There we go. So yeah, well now we can just grab our little Fendt. Our fertilizer Fendt with the narrows on it. It's already got the fertilizer tank hooked up to it, as it usually does. That's mainly what it's used for. And we'll go do the first layer of fertilizer. We'll just leave the Valtra there. It's not hurting anything. So yeah, we have 2,110 liters of fertilizer, so I think we'll be good. I don't think we'll use more than 1,000 liters. And we get to go do one of my favorite things. You guys probably already know what it is. Spreading fertilizer on top of lime. I think it looks so cool. Look at it. Here you go. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Ah, yeah. I know. I'm simple-minded. I just think it looks awesome. Here, that's gonna be the thumbnail for you guys, just because I think it looks so special. And I love how, with that mod, I know I say it all the time, but I still think it's awesome how that mod makes everything change. The lime go all over. I mean, it's even on the spreader, the fertilizer tank. It's everywhere, which I imagine in real life, you're spreading a broken down rock that's turned into powder. I imagine it would get everywhere. I missed that little spot. Can't be having any missed spots. But yeah, if you see, even this fertilizer spreader, even though it's smaller and it's only got the one spreader, whoa, my bad. The one spreading unit thing, spreading disc, I believe that's what they call it. It spreads much further than the lime. I think it's like double what the lime spreader spreads. So when you have that same spreader that we use for lime with the huge tank on it, and you have the double spraying discs, it spreads so far, it's incredible. I would say it spreads close to the same width as the sprayer that we currently have, which is pretty impressive. It makes fertilizing super easy. Not that this one makes it hard. I mean, especially for the size of field that we got going on here. If any of you guys have an idea of what would be the best place of land, like if any of you guys play this on your own or anything, and you have an idea of what would be the best piece of land to buy for our first bit of land purchase, let me know and I'll look into it, because as of now, like I've said before, I haven't actually looked into the land to see which one I would like, because that's going to take some driving around and investigating to see which ones are semi-flat. I mean, they don't have to be perfectly flat, but semi-flat. I don't want to run into problems while harvesting. And I don't want them to be so steep that I can't get my equipment, like trying to seed uphill. It's just difficult. Or when it comes to plowing, trying to plow up a hill, that could be rough. So yeah, if any of you guys have anything in mind, I'll check it out. I'd appreciate it. I do think that field over there would be nice. Even with the hill and the trees on top, we could either remove the trees, which is probably not what I'm going to do, but we could leave them there. Sorry, I missed a little spot right there. I hate it when you actually don't miss a spot, and I don't know if you guys fertilize like this, like over the top of the lime, but you go over the top of it and it leaves a strip of the lime down, and it makes it look like you forget a spot. So you go back and you try to cover it up with some fertilizer and nothing happens. That's frustrating for me. Oh my gosh, I'm missing more spots. You guys don't do as I do. Alright, so we're just going to make sure we don't miss any spots, and we're going to overlap. So yeah, look, by the looks of it, if you look down at the bottom left at how much fertilizer we have, looks like we haven't even used 1,000 liters yet. So as of now, this fertilizer tank is perfect for us. I actually don't know if we'd ever need to upgrade past this. I mean, we could, just for the heck of it, but I don't think it's a necessity. There we go, our field is now ready for crops. So let's head back to our farm and drop this off, this little Fendt, and we'll grab our, our case tractor. It's a good one for planting. It's got, I think it still has more horsepower than even our Valtra does. It's one that will probably stick with us for a long time. Actually, I don't even see, as of now, I'm not seeing any reason to look into getting any new tractors. I mean, the Valtra, I can't use it how I wanted to use it, but it does get the job done, so it works. So it might stay here. Alright, so let me hop in here, and then I'll take a peek at what's selling for what after it saves. So, soybean selling for 2,900, and canola's only selling for 2,000. That's a pretty good price there on oats right now. Not bad at all. So yeah, I think, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, we're gonna go with soybeans again. Oh, that thing's still going. You see that? Look. I wonder how I turn it off. I wonder if it just stays on constantly because there's stuff in there. It's a little weird. Before we start, I know this probably isn't necessary, but we're going to come over here and see if our seeder needs to be repaired. Nah, just a little bit. No big deal. Alright, now we're off to plant some soybeans. How's our fields over here doing? They both have fertilizer, 100%. 100% fertilizer and no weeds. 50% fertilized. Oh dang. Alright guys, sorry. We have to take care of that before I forget. So we'll go grab the fertilizer again, spreader again, and we'll just run over here and quickly fertilize that. That should be just like 3 runs. And look at our hay. We're running low. I believe when I was up there, it looked like our grass field was ready to harvest again. And the weekend's coming here soon, so I'll be able to knock that out via a time lapse. So that works. And we should be good to go. There we go. Yeah, this won't take long. Just quickly fertilize this. Better do it now, like I said, before I forget, and then it's going to end up like the last canola harvest, but doesn't have weeds in it yet. I have plant growth set to fast, and so that could be where my problems lie with the weeding situation, because I usually have it on normal, but I'm trying to make progression happen in this series as fast as possible, in a sense. I don't want it to run dull and just keep doing the same thing over and over with the same fields. I want to expand and keep things a little interesting. So with that comes the need for faster crop growth. Faster crop growth, so that we can continue expanding and getting money, paying back our $400,000 loan. Holy crap. With all of our horses, we could pay that back, I think, maybe, but that's gonna be a while. 8 of them we just barely purchased. Alright, so we're not going to put this away because that'll be a long run back. We're just going to leave it here. And now we'll go plant soybeans. Now they're both 100% fertilized. Neither one of them have weeds. Alright, Case, we're ready to go. Look at our grass. It looks like it's ready. Oh, it's only 50%. Yeah, I didn't fertilize it the second time. But I think we'll still get plenty of grass out of it. Alright, so usually I go around and do this the same way that the AI would do it. I just go back and forth. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a few passes around the outside, and then we're going to go back and forth. You know, I'm kind of curious as... Here, I'm going to check something real quick. So our Valtra has 210, and this has 214. So yeah, it does have more horsepower than the Valtra does. I mean, the Valtra we could upgrade, and I think when we take it like to the shop and upgrade its engine, and then I think the Valtra would be ahead of it. But I also think that we could still upgrade. I think this tractor still has room for an upgrade. I think this one can go up to like 270 horsepower. I could be wrong. I'm more of a paraphrasing here, going off memory. But I do know that this thing has a bunch of horsepower that you can get out of it. Well, okay. I just proved myself wrong. I guess we're just gonna flip around. I was gonna go around the outside, but then I got lost in my own head and messed up that idea. So we're just gonna go up and down. Kinda like the AI, but different. They just go straight up and down with 0 turns. I had somebody tell me to look into getting, I believe it was course play, or maybe it was I think it was the GPS mod, and I just have no idea how to set that stuff up. I need to take some time and either look at tutorials or just investigate it myself. Because that could be pretty handy. But as I've said, this is my first time playing Farming Simulator. My first Farming Simulator 19 being my first attempt at Farming Simulator. And so this stuff isn't as natural to me. I'm not competent with everything yet. In time, it'll come. I sure am glad that towards the beginning of the game I got us the seeder. If we had to use the one that's half the width of this field would take a very long time. So I'm super grateful that we had those extra houses when we started out, that we were able to sell and get enough money to purchase this thing. I believe that it has paid for itself already, in the amount of work that it actually saves us from doing, because this field would take twice as long as it does already. You know what really drives me insane sometimes is when I'm playing, I'll just lift up the seeder and I won't turn it off, and then I'll turn around. Oh my gosh, we got weeds coming in already? This is outrageous. But anyway, I'll I'll just lift it up, lift the seeder up, and I won't turn it off. And then by time I turn around and I push the lower button, lower the seeder, and then I go to turn it on, and it'll turn it off. And then I start driving, and I look behind the the seeder, and I've missed a whole bunch. Oh man, that irritates me. It's not a game fault or anything. It's nothing the game's doing wrong. It's totally a Freki move. So I try to remember to lift it and turn it off all the time whenever I'm making a turn. And those weeds are coming in like crazy. It's weird that they didn't come in on the unseeded ground. They normally do, don't they? It's a bit strange. Huh. Oh well. See, this is where the weeder part would get frustrating for me, because if I was to finish this up and then take the weeder to it, and I just weeded where the weeds have grown in, then everywhere else that I'm still planting right now will still grow weeds in. It won't like what's the word I'm looking for? It won't make it so the weeds don't grow in. You know what I mean? Sorry, I can't think of the correct terminology for it right now. But it won't prevent the weeds from coming in. Hold on, you guys. My dog's barking. I have to go let her in real quick. Sorry. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. But what I was meaning is like there's no preventative. The weeds will grow in whether you like it or not. And I could always turn the weed feature off, but I don't know. I find the challenge to be worth it. Well, not like it's a big challenge, but it's an added realism that I enjoy. But to each their own. If you don't play with the weeds, go for it, dude. I'm not holding it against you, and I don't blame you. The one thing that I don't do, which I do know that quite a few other people do, is I don't play with the periodic plowing on. And the reason being, no good reason. There's no good reason for me to not do it. I don't know. Guess I could. And I could just use a subsoiler and do it. But I don't know why. I don't have a good answer for that one. That's a tough question. I don't know if there is any benefit to it. Probably not. It's not like I'm getting a penalty for not having it on or anything. But if I had it on and I didn't plow, then I would get a penalty. It's kind of like if I have the weeds on and I don't weed, then you get a penalty. Well, you could call it a penalty, but you just get less yield. So I imagine if I had it on and I didn't plow, that I would just get less yield, which by definition is kind of like a penalty. But it looks like the weeds are done growing, which is good. But we're going to wait till the second stage of weeds come in, hopefully. Hopefully our soybeans don't mature that too fast. And we'll wait till those weeds that are already in have grown to full length maturity. And the weeds that haven't grown in yet on this place, on the stuff we're planting now, come in to be the first stage. And then we'll take them all out. But I believe that means that our little field of oat we just planted probably has weeds in it now. So we'll have to take care of that pronto. Thea, no, you just came in. Sorry, my dog's looking at the door like she wants to go back outside. My neighbor's little dog is outside barking now. She wants to go see what he's barking at. So, yeah, we're almost done, kinda. More than halfway. Hopefully the soybeans bring us some decent money. They usually bring us anywhere between $50,000 and $60,000, which is great for now. Especially because, like I said, we had that freaking loan, dude. I don't know what I was thinking. Should have never got it that high. Now it's constantly nagging at the back of my head, you know, just in the back of my head. The bank owns your farm, dude. It's pretty much what I keep telling myself. They pretty much do. They could come take our entire farm away from us right now, if this was real life. That would be very unfortunate. It's a nice peaceful day. Not a neighbor to be seen. How would it be? I can't even imagine it. That would be too relaxing. I'd probably get so much done without all the distractions of city life. I would miss convenience stores though. I'm sure they have them. Probably just spread out a bit further, which wouldn't matter. I guess you wouldn't miss it. They'd still be there. You just have to drive a little further, or walk, or ride a bike. No big deal. That's one thing I've noticed is when I was a kid, we rode our bikes everywhere. Always riding our bikes, just everywhere, all across town, you know. And nowadays, at least where I live, there's hardly any youngins outside doing that stuff. Can't really blame them. The amount of traffic has increased so much, it's insane. Even I don't want to go ride my bike out there with all the cars out there now. Whoa. Bird scared me. I find it funny how some of the birds stay and some of the birds fly away. Some of them are not intimidated. Clearly, we're not impressed by your farm equipment, dude. We're just gonna sit down here and eat your seeds. Alright. We are almost done. Just a few more passes up and down here. We'll be done with this section at least. And then we have the wider section, how it spreads out a bit down here. Not too bad at all. Have any of you guys got the Anderson DLC? Did any of you guys get that? And if so, my next question is, what have you found to be the best item in the pack? So far, for me, myself, the only one I've really used, but I have enjoyed it, and I think it was very helpful, is what you guys have already seen, which is the total mixed ration unit thing. The mixing wagon. At first I didn't think it was going to be worth it. Like, it wasn't gonna be very I don't know how to put it. It wasn't gonna be better in any way. It was just gonna make shorter job. But that being said, being able to do about twice the amount of total mixed ration in one trailer load, or it's a trailer, yeah, one trailer load, is amazing. It's well worth it. Now, I don't know if it's worth the $10 I paid for it, but it is worth it in the game. And I imagine in real life, if you were going to be purchasing a wagon, it would be save you get done in half the time. So you could get double the amount of cows for the same amount of work. Well, not really. Sorry, let's take that back, because you'd have to get double the amount of silage, hay, and straw. But if you already have a whole bunch of that stuff, then yes, it is well worth it. Because we had that much, no matter what size our machine is. Oh yes, pretty bird. Pretty bird. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. Here, just watch. You can see. It'll be easier for me just to do it rather than explain it. We're going to do this. Instead of going all the way down and coming back up for a little stretch, we're just going to continue going straight. This might be a total stupid idea. Yeah, it's looking like it. Yeah, that was dumb. That was a dumb idea, Freki. Mainly because it says, you don't have access to this land. There we go. My goal, or my idea, was so that we just had to come back up here and do this little stretch, and then we're done up here and we can just take care of everything else down there. So, maybe it wasn't that bad of an idea. And we're done. We're not going to worry about this little bit that didn't get planted. That was just more of a mistake when I was plowing the field. Yes, Ozzy, it was a mistake. I know. Imagine I made a mistake all the time. Move, birds. Quit eating my seeds. The soybeans want to grow. Yeah, pretty bird. You can eat all the seeds, Ozzy. You little green bird. Oh yeah, almost done. Surprising, look, we already have some zigzags of soybeans growing in already. Guess they're trying to tell me I'm slow at planting, huh? Going as fast as I can, dudes. Calm down. Yeah, Ozzy, I'm going as fast as I can. He's mocking me. He's being a mockingbird. He thinks he's so funny. Nice. So we should just have, what, one more pass going back the other way, and then we will be done. And it's getting nighttime. It's about time our farmer retires for the night, for the evening. Although I'm kind of scared to go to bed, honestly. We're going to wake up in the morning and have weeds and unfertilized fields and holy crap. That's the downside to having your plants growing fast. And we are done. Not so bad. Let's not drive on the field. That sounds like a good idea, Freki. Well, very nice. All of our fields are now growing. And our grass field is ready to be cut. Oh, look at that. Look at our oats. They came in nice. Our wheat's doing good. Yeah, so our oats, they have weeds in them, right? Yep, you see them? Look at that. Look at that big, ugly milkweed. We'll have to take care of that. But for now, let's just park this up. Next to this mixing wagon that's still cranking. And I think we're going to end it here, guys. We did get one field done, so we didn't get a ton accomplished, but we did get make some accomplishments here. And there's a scythe, in case you want to go, you know, old school and start chopping down wheat with a scythe. But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have yourselves a wonderful day.